Hey everyone. So, what you're about to hear is the first episode of hopefully many to come of what I'm calling the Dream On portion of the podcast, a separate episode from Sinksters. This one focusing entirely on dreams, dream stories, people's experiences, dreaming, everything dreamland related. So, I hope you enjoy this. This is Taylor Marie and I riffing on dream strangers, people we encounter in our dream space, and a little bit of past life memory stuff comes through. And there's many more conversations to come. So if you're listening to this and enjoy it, thanks so much. I'm going to get better at these intros and I'm going to add an outro this time. So I can only imagine by my fifth episode how wonderful and streamlined I'll have it. And that was sarcasm because I'll never have it streamlined. But if you can listen to this and enjoy it, then you're awesome. So thanks for being here. Enjoy. Switching gears completely, I was going to say, do you remember, speaking of conspiracy homages, this is not really like true conspiracy, it's kind of only dream related, but do you remember years ago when there was this whole, I mean, I'm sure it was on a Reddit forum. I think that's where I saw it. There was this man that people kept dreaming about. I swear he was called like the Dream Man. Do you remember
Yes,
any of
I do.
this?
I know
Do you
exactly
know
what
what
you're
he looks
talking
like in
about.
your head kind of thing? Like the
Yes.
kind of like balding, black hair. Every time I talk about him, I always think I'm going to dream about him. I've never dreamt about him. But I was thinking about the conversation we had where we were saying like both of us dream about strangers all the time. And I can't believe it when I hear from other people that they've never dreamt of a stranger before. And then my mind wandered to that whole thing with the guy that everybody dreams about. And like obviously it's stranger when more people are dreaming about the same person. But I think it's just interesting in general where maybe that popped out in people's like psyches because they never see someone that they don't know in their dream space. Whereas like I see people in my dream space who I don't know all the fucking time,
All the time. Like actually more often, I'm
more
more
often than I see
surprised.
somebody that I actually know.
I actually take note of dreams sometimes more often where there's people that I know or like family members or people that I love in my dreams because 90% of the time it's nobody that I know. Like all the time. And it's
So
been
I
like that
wish
since
I'm
I was
gonna have to like pose a poll one day. Like I'm gonna have to do another Instagram poll because I want to know if people like I want to know the quote unquote stats on this because yeah, I couldn't believe it. Michael told me he'd never dreamed of strangers. And I was just like, what do you mean you don't dream of strangers? Anyway, so I was thinking of my like top dreams where I've dreamt about people I absolutely have no. Okay, well, actually, I'll break it into two. There's two different kinds because I will say that I do have dreams where I don't know this person, but I recognize their like energy signature. So I do know them. Perhaps not in this life. I mean, I don't know. It could be, I don't know. I don't know. And then there's like the people who I absolutely don't know. And I don't feel a connection or I don't feel some kind of resonance with their energy. So I do kind of break it up even further.
Yeah, I feel like I have a similar experience. I definitely have dreams of people like, yeah, that I would say people that I don't know like in real time. Um, but that like I know in my dreams. And then there's people that I definitely do not know. And then I would even go as far to say there's people that I do not know where there's like an actual repellent, very like not nice energy to them. Um, so yeah, like, well, I guess that would go both into the second category, but yeah, I feel like there's like just rando people sometimes, and then there's people that seem to play a key part in whatever's going on in my dream or whatever's happening, but that I actually am like really don't want to get anywhere near, if that makes sense.
Okay, I'll ask you one level deeper. This is a dream that I've had. I wonder if I've told you this dream before. I probably have, because it's one of my most standout dreams just for the like sheer emotion that I was feeling in it and that has like still like I can still feel it when I think about it. But like first of all, I was drowning when I like woke up in the dream. So like to me already it's like but water's a theme for me. So that's another chat. But this man pulls me out of the water. Um and I like know him, like I love him. So I don't like thinking back on the stream. I do not know who this guy is, but I like the feeling I had for this guy is just incredible. So, and almost like not just incredible, like, oh wow, I love him. And I mean like romantic love. This was like a romance thing. But like I like when I think like I try to think back to that moment in the dream because it's not just like romantic love. It's like, oh wow, I miss this guy. And I don't even know this guy. So, okay, so like so much to say, I could go on and on and on, but it's interesting that in that dream, just in terms of like strangers and stuff, I was on this like little raft with two other women or just one other woman, I don't know, but I knew that one lady was my grandma in this life. So I mean, this is where I was kind of like intersecting past life memories perhaps with dreams. But but it's interesting that I didn't recognize this woman to be my grandma. Like she doesn't look like my grandma, but she had the same energy of my grandma in this life. So it's like, was she really a stranger? No, because I like knew that was my grandma. And I don't even mean like my grandma in the dream. I don't know what role this woman played, like sitting on the raft next to me. You know what I mean? Um, so like, is that, do I even qualify as that a dream about strangers? I don't know because I feel like I knew absolutely everyone. Oh, there was a child. It was me, my grandma, who I don't know, maybe she was my mom or something in that dream or a friend or whatever. And then I had a child, and then there was this, man. So it was just that was an interesting dream. And then I don't even think I've told you this one, but like I could go on and on. I've had so many of these kind of things. I actually dreamt of a guy in summer of 2021, and I'll never forget. I haven't told you this. I know I haven't. He was so smiley. I remember his face. He was like fairly fair and blue eyes, and he had like a Santa Claus he like what we put on Santa, I guess. Who knows what the fuck. But I think I was dreaming about, oh, because when I look at his face, I like kind of age him, and oh is my son who I just had. So when I like look at his face, I'm kind of like, I think I dreamt of you as an adult. Like he wasn't an old man. Like when I say Santa Claus, I just mean like jolly, like just happy. And this baby has that kind of like jolly, happy, and fair blue eye. Like, you know what I mean? It's so weird. So maybe again, not a stranger at all, but I didn't know at the time.
See, now this is what's so interesting, right? Is because then this goes back into like the time space continuum of like, are you dropping into,
Or where the fuck are we? Actually, that just goes into
yeah,
where the fuck are we and who are we interacting with at night? And do they know where we are? And do we know
oh,
where we are
okay,
when we're with them?
okay, so you just, yeah, well, you just triggered my whole experience a lot of the time is like, I have a lot of dreams where I don't know anybody. Sometimes I have some sort of companion or guide or like and I don't mean guide. Well, actually I do kind of because like I've had so many dreams and so many different um scenarios where it's the same kind of energy and play out, but it's like obviously in a different like I've been in a shopping mall and I've been in um weird homes and I've been in the forest and I've been in like all these different places. Usually I have somebody with me that knows that I'm like there, that like, you know, I'm like with. Um, and then there's always somebody that I catch their like line of sight and I make eye contact with them. And then it's like this whole, it's all energy. Like it's not even like the facial like expression changes or anything. It's all energy. And it's like they look at me and it's like they know that I'm not supposed to be there, that I'm like not really of wherever we are. And then I know that they know that I'm not supposed to be there. And then it
And
turns
then it's
really
a
serious
party
though.
and
It
we're
turns
hugging
more
each
serious.
other.
Yeah, because then it's like this energy where they're like trying to, like, they immediately start to come for me or come at me. And that's like, I have so many dreams like that. And I wouldn't call it a reoccurring dream because it's not the same person and it's not the same situation. But that happens to me on
So
a
you're
fairly
having kind of like reunions. You're having reoccurring reunion theme of who knows who. See, you're the girl who says you don't have any past life memories, but to me, these are all past life elements.
yeah, but they just feel so like it is in the most random of random experiences. Um,
Would you
like
like
I
a
could
would you like
I
to
could
just read the Akashic records so that you can have them all laid out for you? I mean, you're supposed to.
but it's not, they aren't pleasant experience, those experiences. Like they're not like there's no um like I said, there's no like I know like their energy or like I feel drawn to them or like anything like that. It almost feels like, oh my goodness, like I've been kind of like found out that I'm not supposed to be here. And then it's like this whole, you know, thing ensues. Um,
Like you get kicked out of the realm once they find you peeping,
yes,
almost.
yes, yes,
It's like,
precisely.
well, okay, but that takes me down another theme though, that you're on a mission because I often feel like when I'm asleep, I have a mission to like accomplish. I will say that I have reoccurring mission amigos. Like I will dream of specific friends constantly who also tend to have mission style dreams. And we're like, well, what the hell were we doing last night? And like, where were we? Because you were there or I was there. Uh, and there, it's like we had, like, there was an underlying stress of something that we had to do. I'm being very vague, but like, that's a recurring thing that happens for me. But, okay, where was I going to go with that? Well, I mean, that kind of just sits in its own category, in my opinion. But okay, I have a few more examples of strangers in my dreams. But I remember I had this one, and it's kind of reuniony, and it's kind of like how you're saying there's someone guiding you. I remember I had this dream. Oh, Taylor, you're actually gonna love this with your astrology brain. But okay, so I I don't know. I always think of it like Rick and Morty. Like I get off my spaceship and the dream begins, or like I'm kicked off the, or like I close my eyes and here I am. I wake up in this dream and I'm in this like corridor thing, and there's like furniture, like it's like really beautifully decorated. There's like couches everywhere, but the couches, you're gonna flip. The couches are like the upholstery is the sky. So it's like the cosmos. So it's like stars and Milky Ways and all and planets and stuff. And I have to go to this meeting. So again, like a kind of an underlying thing where it's like I have to do something, something has to be done. And I get into this circle, and there's one woman at the head. This was a while ago. This was probably like 2019. I had this dream. There's a woman at the top of the circle, and I'm with all women around the circle, and she's asking us how it's going and what are we doing. And so like the Cosmos couches was like the waiting room before this meeting began. So, and I remember I was like, okay, so if the lady was at like 12 o'clock, I was like at 6 o'clock. I was like at 6 o'clock or maybe 7 o'clock. And you know what? Now that I say that, maybe there was like literally 12 of us. Like, I don't know. It was like, yeah, maybe. Um, and I remember it's kind of funny that you started this convo off like with, how far you've kind of come and you're having kind of a leadership role with someone who's just coming into like this worldview kind of thing. Because I remember some girls talking about what they've done, and I was like sneering under my breath, being like, oh, fuck, I've been there, done that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what a horrible ego I was pulling into that cosmic meeting. But when she got to me, I don't remember what I said, but I had like a soliloquy to like stand up and like say my piece about how it's going. Wow, I haven't thought about this dream for a while. So, well, to me, that takes me down like we're definitely here for a mission itself. Like, what the fuck is this? If we want to talk about like what life is, but that was a really cool dream, and like those couches were gorgeous, and I would decorate my home with them.
I'm
But
I'm just
but so I didn't recognize anybody in that dream, but I also did feel like a reverence for this lady who was like it was some kind of master energy, and we had to, but I guess I carried this I guess I carry the same energy that I do in this life though, where I'm kind of like, oh my God, like level up, girlfriend. So that was kind of like I was thinking back when I woke up and I was like, wow, your Sag energy was like, calm down, chick.
no, I'm so intrigued by this because I'm even thinking like if there was 12 women like in this circle and you're like in this kind of like cosmic, like space. And then you're saying you're like sitting at like 6 or 7 o'clock. Like I'm even going while you're telling me this, like into Virgo and like Libra energy. And like how that was like coming through you in the way that you were like energetically, externalizing in that space. Cause that's like very Virgo, right? Like
Well, because I was noticing the upholstery, first of all, the fine
the,
details.
the fine, the fine details, but also just like, oh, like I already know that. Like what, like, like level up. Get
I
the
don't
fuck.
know. Interesting. I
Uh,
never thought about it that way.
yeah, that
Yeah. I didn't think of it. I'm gonna have to find my journal for that one because I think I wrote that one down. When I'm not like pregnant and stressed out, I have amazing dream journals, and that hasn't happened in a while. So.
no, no, it's definitely that mission energy though, as soon as you said that. And there's actually quite a few dreams where I'm absolutely, as soon as you said that, most of these dreams I am trying to like get somewhere or do something, and then somebody fucking like finds me out. And it's not even like a find you out. Like I said, it's not like somebody's pointing at me and saying, like, oh, you're trying to da 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 da. It's like all energetic. It's like eye contact, boom, I've like been found, and now I have to like essentially leave, leave what I'm doing. Um, and the like one that's coming to mind for me that was like really interesting. And I think I've told you like parts of this before, but I honestly don't know if I was like astral traveling at this point, or this was just like, like a very lucid kind of like we were talking about like mission type dream. Um, but I was in this like cosmic like hotel. Like it was like there was other people, like normal looking people there, but there were also all these like kind of like other beings. And I don't mean like Star Wars like other beings, like obviously very like humanoid like, but like just like really different features. um and people that looked like they were from like different time periods. Like I remember there being like these very like tribal-esque kind of like African very tall like men there, and like all these different
Yo, it
yeah,
sounds like The Fifth Element. Have you
yeah.
seen The Fifth Element?
Oh my, I the Fifth Element traumatized me.
Shut up. It's one of my favorite movies.
The Fifth Element. I watched that. I watched that. My mom is like, you and my mom would just like, my mom watches
I
all
vibe your
like,
mom so hard, and I've never even met her.
like all into
I
that, and
want to
she
be
doesn't
her.
get afraid. She doesn't get afraid. Whereas like me,
The
you know
Fifth
how I am.
Element makes you scared.
The Fifth Element makes me so scared. Okay.
Which part? Or just
Oh my God.
the whole concept.
What?
The whole You're dreaming about Boston Paradise though. This is what I mean. Your dream is sounding like that. You're in a hotel.
Yeah, but it's like,
There's
it was
different
like,
looking
hell, but
beings.
yeah, but it was like this, it was like a hotel. It absolutely was a hotel, but it was like, it was very old style as well, like if that makes sense. Like it was really old. um it kind of reminded me of like an old
I was gonna say you're dreaming of the
saloon
Cecil Hotel.
saloon like saloon type like
Ooh, so like kind of a
yeah,
western?
like westerny, but not like western like there's cowboys everywhere, but like that kind of like aesthetic, if that makes sense. And I remember that I was there to receive a message, so I was like upstairs in this room, And I knew, so that I came down to like, you know, how they have in like hotels and stuff, like little, you know, like whatever restaurants, bars, kind of like meeting communal spaces. So I came down there and there was like all of these, like I said, like all of these different beings, and very intimidating. And then, like I said, one of these like very tribal looking men approached me. He had like super long locks. He was super tall. Had like this very weird like clothing on that I've never seen before. And he approached me with this other. I don't even remember what the other guy looked like. I just remember him specifically, and I remember he gave me a. Oh, he said all I remember from that was Grand Master and then something, something, something. Yeah. Okay. So he was like Grand Master, da 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 da. And I was like kind of hyperventilating while he was telling me this because I remember when he told me, I was like, okay, this is like really intense and this is like really important. Um, and kind of had like almost like an existential crisis feeling, like as he was telling me this. And then I went to leave. And as I was leaving, I made eye contact with like somebody sitting across and they looked at me a certain way. And I was like, holy fuck, I need to get out of here. And that was the dream where I ended up going up the stairs and then running down like this long hotel corridor. And there were this big wooden staircase at the end of it that was like going down and then down again and down again. And I ended up getting shot. And I felt it. And I felt myself like falling down the staircase and being completely aware that I had been shot and hitting the ground.
And you
And
don't think that's a past life memory?
maybe they are, man. I don't know. I feel like I hear everyone else's like past like memories and they sound so mystical and wonderful. I'm like getting shot in saloons. Like
But that could, I don't know, to me, that sounds exactly like a past life memory, like you and coming to you in a dream. Like that's maybe how you died, right? I mean, you would die knowing that you just got shot.
oh yeah, I was fully aware that I was dying. Like I was here's the thing.
Yeah.
I was fully aware that I was dying, but then I was also still wondering how I was still conscious. That was like the real mind
Well,
fuck of
probably
that.
because you were already like flipping into 4D. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
I
was
don't
like
know. I'm just guessing.
falling and it like everything was in slow motion. I remember the feeling. And what's so
Mm.
interesting too is my mom used to tell me about a dream she had had as well, completely different circumstances, but that she was shot in her dream and that she could feel the bullet like move through her body and same kind of thing, like she knew that she was going to die but she was still somehow conscious. And it's like it's just like
Do you think you and your mom could have been twins in a past life?
I could
That
definitely
just came into my mind, but
oh, I could definitely see that.
because
My
you
mom and I,
guys are like twins, like you look like twins.
we look like twins. Even like our astrology, a lot of our astrology is like almost identical. And then the other thing with it too is like I told you, my mom used to have that past life memory where um her, myself, and like my nan were like three sisters in the South.
Taylor, you're talking about saloons in the South.
But then where did the tribal man come from? Like not understanding this part and
But
where,
I mean, there could have been elements. I don't mean, I don't know. I'm gonna
but
be thinking about this though, and I'm gonna be puzzling pieces together. This is very intriguing. Hmm.
yeah, it's so interesting. She used to tell me all the time when I was growing up that she used to have yeah, like she used to have a past life memory and she used to have it like a lot and different experiences, so not like just like one vision or like one visualization or anything. She would have all these different kind of visualizations and like memories of the three of us together, and like our hair braided and like you know walking down these like dirt paths and forests and stuff with like trees so tall around us and like all this kind of
Okay,
crazy.
but and remember how we were talking triple goddess the other night, and we were talking. I was saying how like in a very like nice way you give me like a Hecate vibe.
Yes.
but more like she's guiding you, not like you are her, or obviously, or just like the essence of her. Even some people can present that way. I just mean like
Oh,
you seem very guided, or like with the wisdom of. And that's interesting
yeah.
that we were saying that you like three kept coming up all the time, and now you're telling me that your mom, who is like well, no, your nan would be the crone, your mom is your mom, and you would be the maiden.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So here we are here we are
You're
doing what we do. Add that to the Discord. Okay, that's so cool.
Yeah, no, and then well, I know, and then there's like the whole twin sync with I don't know, there's like a lot going on
Well,
there.
then there's the twin sync with your actual twin. So who
That's
can't be here though? Who is guiding you?
oh yeah, no, definitely can't be here and was never meant to be here.
Interesting. Okay, well, we're getting away from strangers, but it doesn't matter because this is well, I was gonna say even my dream the other day that I told you about how I was in the stairwell slash liminal space. We don't know what the hell the stairwell truly means at this point. I mean, will I ever find out? But like I was just encountering strangers the whole time. And to me, every stranger that came out of those doors, I was explaining it to my sister, and I was explaining it like, when you're at a Jays game and you're trying to not like when you're already in the at your seat. That's like when you're behind in the building and you're trying to get to the next level. And like sometimes there's stairs, but sometimes there's those long ramps. So I was kind of saying it was kind of like that because it was very like drab. It was super gray, cement, boring. So then these doors at each level would come, somebody would come out of it and they would like either interact with me or, ignore me or whatever. But I was just thinking about like strangers. Well, what the hell? Like that was just a whole dream of strangers because everybody I encountered, I did not know. And now I'm really thinking about it again because this is with the three. So like just to retell, but like I'm going up the stairs and it was three girls, and I mean like teenagers, like maybe 15, 16 years old. They came out of the door. So like to me, like in my analysis, my self-analysis of this dream, like they came out of this one realm, whatever it is, or dimension, and they say to me, and they all looked alike. There's that. And they say to me, "You've never seen a production of Red Tent?" And they kind of said it in like a weird snotty way, like the Red Tent. And I'm kind of like, "No, I haven't," which is kind of funny. And now that I think about it, like, of course I've seen a production of the Red Tent. It's my whole fucking career and like interest and lifestyle. So I said no. And then they like, because they were in like, all the whole like Broadway get up kind of thing. So they just kind of like, I'm doing the motion. I don't know what you'd call it, like strut away, like back through the door. And then that was right before I came across those like three oracle decks where I'm doing the pull. And it was only because they had said you've never seen a production of the Red Tent. So I pulled those three cards. I pulled Red Tent, I pulled Mother Goose, and then I pulled Isis. And it was when I pulled Red Tent first that I like scoffed at it, but only because those girls had said that already, because I was like, oh well, there it is reappearing. You know what I mean? So that's why I did that. And then it ended up again at the end with like me locking eyes with that black man again, who I don't know. So super. I guess I'm just trying to like be like, yeah, I dream about strangers all the time. Like I really, truly, truly do.
Yeah, all the time, all the time. And it's interesting to me, like when I talk to some of my other friends about their dreams almost always revolve around the people that they know. There's people in their dreams, or they're dreaming about people that they like know of. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I know friends who have like, oh, I dreamt about, this, random chick we went to high school with. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Not a stranger. Very rarely do I hear people tell me about dreams that they've had where they're like, or if they do, they're like, oh my God, there was this random woman. I've never seen her before. It was so strange. I don't know how the hell, like, and I'm like, what do you mean? Like, that's like, all of my dreams are like that. 90, like literally, I would say even more than that, like 95% of my dreams. Like I said, I'm more shocked. Like if my son is in my dream, or like my husband is my dream, or my best friend, or my mother, I'm like really keyed in because I'm like, almost like, what are you doing here? Like, why are you here?
This is like, um, I don't know how I feel about this anymore, But I don't know if you've ever read anything or listened to Thomas Sheridan. I have one of his books and I used to really love Thomas. I mean, I probably still do. I've just really fallen off of his like work. But he wrote, and he used to talk about this, about how when you're really coming into your own energy, people will start dreaming of you, because it's like your consciousness is expanding. You're able to, I mean, almost travel, like in the way that you kind of speak about it. Um, I'll I'll add his actual quote about it to this episode, as well as a poll, because now I'm going to poll people and just see what people are saying about this, because now I'm interested outside of just like my little group of friends. But so I was always thinking about when people would say that they dream of me, like what am I going through? Am I feeling like a really like in my power? Am I feeling good, or am I in a bad way? Because it's so interesting. Like a lot of the time when someone dreams about me, they'll be like, "Are you okay? I'm dreaming about you." And I'll be like, "I'm absolutely fine," which is interesting because that kind of speaks to what Thomas is saying. Because I'm actually getting like more like powerful. I'm feeling great. My energy is like touching other people and it's not even waking time. um but it's so funny when people dream about you. I mean, I'm kind of guilty of it as well, because sometimes I'll dream about somebody. I'll be like, "Are you all right? I dreamt about you." But I don't know if I should necessarily, I mean, unless it's an absolute nightmare, because then it would be concerning or whatever. But
No, I
but
think
yeah.
I was just going to say, because I feel like that's actually quite a dichotomy with me, because I know I have the same like experience as you. When people say they've dreamt of me, I'm usually in like a really good expansive space and I actually get excited. I'm like, oh, like what was the dream? Like tell me what's going on. But I actually have had many times where I've dreamt of, especially women, but I'll have a dream of a woman that I know, and it doesn't have to be a woman that I'm like, in deep connection with or deep sisterhood with, like just a woman that I know or that I've met before, that I went to school with or that I worked with. And a lot of times I'll actually, message them and I'll say, hey, like it was so wild. Like I had a dream about you the other night. And they actually always respond to me, oh my God, I've been meaning to mess.
Okay, so that cut Taylor off again, right when she was saying that people were thinking of her, she's dreaming of them. And I wanted to read the quote from the book Sorcery, The Invocation of Strangeness. That's what I was referring to when I said in a Thomas Sheridan book. Thomas Sheridan is the author of this. And in this book, he's talking about lots of stuff, mostly magic. There's one part in here that's talking about dreams, and he writes, "This is also why, as our psychic footprint or charisma develops, we can appear in people's dreams to a very vivid degree. In fact, one of the primary indicators of your growing proficiency as a magician is that more and more people will inform you that you have come to them in their dreams." So, and then he goes on to say, this nocturnal bilocational ability is not your internal consciousness leaving your body as such, but rather the fetch or daemon of yourself is moving through, beyond, and in between space time. So, I think that's actually awesome, because that kind of puts a barrier on, this isn't an out of body experience, dreaming, and our consciousness is still in our bodies. That's a whole other conversation that I definitely want to have. Just because we did cut Taylor off at the end there when she was saying how she's coming to women in their dreams. They're thinking of her charisma, her energetic footprint has developed to such a degree that they're already like meeting in another realm. So I just thought that was kind of interesting, and I wanted to end on that quote. So I hope this has been enjoyable, this kind of conversation. I'm going to not cut off my guest going forward. I think 2 episodes of cutting people off is enough. We're going to continue with a fuller format. So my name is Sarah Jane. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. These are going to keep happening because I'm finding them very therapeutic just for myself. So in my own selfish endeavor to put my thoughts and feelings out into the world, thanks for listening to them. And I would love any feedback if you have it. So I have that Instagram page, where's how you probably found this. It's called Singsters Dream On. So please send me a DM. And if I don't hear from you, no problem. Have a great one.